You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. If you haven't already, I do have a separate channel specifically for the ladies who want a space in which only the women congregate together. You're more than welcome to subscribe to Mocha's Ladies Lounge. And if you're coming from Mocha's Ladies Lounge and you're here to check out my second channel, Mocha's Cafe de Paris, this is my co-ed channel for men and women to get together, and we basically discuss different various issues surrounding the Black community. So I want to get into this right away, y'all, and please make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you once again, and subscribe and join the family if you haven't already. So this has gone viral, y'all. Everybody has been talking about it, and of course it's another bust down bird moment in which this young lady here decides to make a very damaging decision that cannot also just ruin her reputation as a person, but 9 times out of 10, with this going viral, she's going to have very limited options in being able to choose a place of employment that is going to take her serious as an employee, because once your face goes viral, it's very damaging to you, because you have to realize we are in a society in which people are not very forgiving. And once you have crossed a certain line, especially and it goes viral online for the whole world to see, this can very well be the end of the road for her, and whatever jobs that she will get or be eligible to work for, it's going to be jobs that's basically are not going to be worth of any value, because any job that values the career field, values their name, they're not going to take a chance and hire her as part of their business. And I don't blame them one bit, especially once I show y'all all of this footage, right? So basically, the bust down bird who we're getting ready to go and talking about today, she decided to record herself. Check this out, y'all. To record herself twerking on disabled patients. Now, if this doesn't boil your blood, if this doesn't make your blood boil, I don't know what does, especially if you have family that's in a nursing home, especially if you have families that have this family members or people who have disability issues. This is very, very disturbing and very frightening. And as you can see, one of the pictures in my thumbnail, she's squatting behind the head of a disabled man and twerking on him. And you're going to see a little bit more other unpleasant things once I get ready to play this footage, right? So everybody's upset about this for very good reason. I worked in a nursing home before, and one thing I know is that a lot of these young women or young people in general of this Gen X, Gen Z situation, in which they are hiring these, I would say, 17-year-olds to 24. They're hiring these young individuals who is still more infatuated with getting likes, who's infatuated with getting social media fame. So the Gen Z generation, they are willing to do anything to go viral. And if it means disgracing a company, if it means disgracing patients, which is basically a major HIPAA violation, because mark my word, it's going to be some lawsuits that this hospital is going to have to deal with because of her ratchet shenanigans. Family members are going to sue. Um, Not only that, not all patients that are disabled are so disabled to where they're not in a right mind. And if these individuals are able to speak and articulate exactly what happened, they can very well also sue the hospitals. But they don't need to really articulate anything, right? Because the proof is right in the pudding. And we're going to show some footage, y'all, because I want y'all to see for yourselves, you know, how bad this situation has really carried out, y'all. So we're gonna take a look at it. And I'm gonna play a couple of different video footages. So I'm gonna start with this one.
Getting it poppin' on her patients.
You just don't do this to people. You don't.
This Atlanta area healthcare worker seen on TikTok dipping it low on her patient's forehead. Patients, you can see, are living with disabilities.
This is not a laughing matter.
And with the backlash,
is not what it is. Trust and believe.
she had plenty to say on social media, but police weren't buying it. A breaking update. She has just been charged. And when the Shade Room started looking into the so-called nurse and who she works for, you may be shocked. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates.
Hit the like button, by the way. By the way, everything I use in this video is fair use, for fair use purposes, for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is my disclaimer.
On social media, she's Krisha Malou, and if she was looking for likes and follows on social media, she surely got it last week, but it was at the expense of at least two men who appear to be disabled who she was taking care of at the time. Not only did she drop her cakes and other body parts on top of their head, but she also did so while she was administering pills to them. It got the internet in a frenzy, many asking, what if this was my loved one?
All right, y'all. So this is one. I am going to play another. And I'm not going to play the sound because I'm sure the music in the background is copyrighted. But you don't need to hear the music. It's not that interesting. She literally has her vajayjay on the top of this man's head while she's administering his medication. Wow. And this man is totally helpless. She doesn't even have him postured right, postured correctly. His head should not be hanging down like that. He's in no position to defend himself, no position to say what you're doing to me is not right. It's uncomfortable. This isn't appropriate. This is really sad. Whose daughter is this? I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, y'all. So as y'all can see, it's just basically rotating back and forth. Okay. And we already saw the TSR video. So shout out to Shade Room for also giving their intake on this as well. So according to Carter, footage has resurfaced to Lucretia Kamasa Koyan. Oh my gosh, for the names, black people. Twerking on at least two men who appear to be disabled within the last week. In the footage, the healthcare worker is seen not only dropping it low, but also giving the men medication while doing so. This really fired me up. Ebony Johnson, owner of Quick Care Homes and Daily Visions. You must follow the proper steps in order to administer medication to an individual. And that's not one of the steps. Standing above someone, twerking above their head, and just popping the pill in their mouth. Johnson explained that Koyan's apparent actions are no laughing matter, and apparently law enforcement thinks the same. Tuesday, January 28th, Koyan was reportedly charged with exploiting a disabled person, which she should be. Recently, the healthcare worker took to TikTok to address the backlash. Koyan told viewers, it's not what it is. Trust and believe. All I got to say for now is angels play a big part. According to Carter, HIPAA regulations require healthcare providers to protect their patients' privacy. So, not too much else to say. The proof is in the pudding, y'all. This was very disturbing. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna play this part. I'm gonna play this video, y'all, because she actually tries to give an explanation for her ratchet ass shenanigans. So let's play this right here also.
Getting it poppin' on her patients.
You just don't do this to people. You don't.
This Atlanta area healthcare worker seen on TikTok dipping it low on her patient's forehead. Patients, you can see, are living with disabilities.
This is not a laughing matter.
And with the backlash,
Is not what it is. Trust and believe.
she had plenty to say on social media, but police weren't buying it. A breaking update. She has just been charged. And when the Shade Room started looking into the so-called nurse and who she works for, you may be shocked. I'm Justin Carter. This is TSR Investigates.
Okay, I'm gonna move this forward, y'all, because we heard him speak earlier on the last one. Okay, I'll come back
to
to
provide the
this.
care that we say we're going to give to these individuals.
And Johnson says this is a violation of that on multiple levels. Lucretia Koyan is her real name, 19 years old, charged on Tuesday with exploiting a disabled person. This is her dancing on top of what's believed to be her male patient, sitting in a bathtub. As the music plays, she reaches in her scrubs, pulls out pills, and gives it to him before the video abruptly shuts off.
That really fired me up. You must follow the proper steps in order to administer medication to an individual in any type of home care setting, of any type of intellectual disability, residential programs. You have to follow these steps. That's not one of the steps. Standing above someone, twerking above their head and just popping the pill in their mouth.
She's not only an entrepreneur, Johnson also teaches classes on how to properly administer drugs to patients. The most important lesson is documentation.
So check 1, check 2, check 3, check 4 is to make sure that you are ensuring that you're giving the right medication to the right person in the right place at the right time. This is not a laughing matter.
Not a laughing matter either for the million people who watch this, quote, nurse, as she calls herself, try to explain what went down.
It's not what it is. Trust and
Make sure y'all hit the like button while coming in. I appreciate it.
all I gotta say for now is angles play a big part, but we're gonna get into that another time.
No matter the angle, you can clearly see her crotch area is on his forehead.
A lot of people in the comments talking about sexual assault, rape, just all type of dumb shit. Non-verbal, trust and believe, he's verbal. And if he's not verbal to his kins, then I don't know what's going on over there. But around here, he be verbal. And I got proof. What you say?
Can I get my hug?
You want to get a hug?
Yeah.
Okay.
And check this out too. This is video that's since been deleted, but she was seen here doing the same type of dance to another patient in another video, but without medication.
So my heart pours out for him that he has to be subjected to so much ridicule for someone's entertainment pleasure, for them to get likes and views and things of that nature.
Let's talk HIPAA laws. According to HIPAA, patients must give their consent and healthcare providers must also protect the patient's privacy. Patients also should be informed of the purpose of the recording, which is the reason why the shade room is choosing not to show the man.
Again, this is fair use for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please hit the like button. Thank you.
Face.
He looks very aware and comfortable to me, so y'all need to stop jumping to conclusions, even though, yeah, I do see how he look, but trust me, it's not that. Enough is enough. Stay tuned.
If you saw one of your staff members doing this to a patient, what would be your first line of action?
First line of action, I am reaching out to that person immediately and I am removing them from that individual so they would not be working. They will be on a non-paid suspension pending investigation.
But here's where it gets tricky. It says that she works at Publix on Facebook at the moment, but before she went viral, this is who she listed as her employer. SNL Healthcare. Online, it says that their philosophy and vision is to, quote, provide the highest quality care and excellent services while promoting the social interaction of seniors and a nurturing family-like environment. Each member of our team is committed to respecting your loved one as an individual with unique wants and needs, regardless of their current level of independence or capability, end quote. SNL Healthcare is listed here as a nursing care agency. It's based in Loganville, Georgia, which is about an hour east of Atlanta. The owner, Mary Nayu, listed here on the National Provider Identifier Database.
Please leave your message for Mary Nayu.
We called. She has not returned our calls or email for comment. It's also been reported too that Mary is Krisha's mother. The Shade Room, though, is still working to verify that, but it's still clear she ain't worried about nothing. It appears that it's business as usual on TikTok. Krisha, just 4 days ago, posting this in her scrubs.
Oh, she posts this video about how she hates working night shifts, and we haven't heard anything from her since.
I'm speechless. I'm completely speechless. You just don't do this to people. You don't.
We did check the Georgia Secretary of State website. Neither SNL Healthcare, Mary, nor Krisha were listed on there. We also reached out to all of them for a comment. We're still waiting to hear back. As a reminder though, always do your homework when you're searching for at-home care. Always check for a license, make sure they have no complaints on their record. A quick search will certainly go a long way.
All right, y'all. So that was a lot to cover, but I thought it was imperative that we understood that, and I'm glad that they broke that down, and made everyone be aware of this. If you're gonna go into this type of business, you got to thoroughly check these people. But let me get right into my intake on this whole situation. First of all, a lot of you who are running professional organizations, something in which there's going to be um, people's lives at stake under those whom you hire, meaning law enforcement, nursing, any type of medical field, anything in which there's going to be patients and individuals in whom is depending on your protection or depending on your services. It's imperative that you understand that you don't become so asphyxiated on trying to accumulate a full staff that you are more concerned with quantity versus quality. And a lot of these jobs are doing that. And it's not just the nursing field. I've seen it in law enforcement, even as a former correctional officer. I've seen them hiring. It used to be where you had to be like 20 years old, become a correction officer. As times got hard and as the facilities became more thirsty for staff or more desperate for bodies, they started lowering lowering the age even lower to 18. And I'm like, what the hell is 18 or 18-year-old female going to do with inmates that are 30, 40 years old, that have a lot of street smarts and know how to, you know what I mean, manipulate women? And if she's 18 and inexperienced, she can easily, her safety or in the safety of the inmate could be at risk. You get what I'm saying? Same thing with these nurses. Same thing with these medical professions. You're hiring these 18, 19 females under the age of 24, you know what I mean? Under 25, excuse me. And you're hiring them, and a lot of them are not mentally mature to take on to grown people work, grown people, adult professions, law enforcement, nursing, becoming a paralegal, becoming a fireman, something that's very detrimental in which people's lives are depending on you. Um, this particular clinic, this agency, they shouldn't even be hiring people this young. They don't have enough experience. They don't understand the severity and the seriousness of patients that have medical issues. Um, as you can see, the way she was twerking on him, his head didn't have any support. She's not understanding that these patients have to be postured and be sitting up a certain way. They have to sit in a certain chair. They need a certain type of support when you're giving them some type of service, whether if it's giving them pills or you're giving them a bath. You can clearly see the video footage shows that this girl nowhere had the mindset, had the maturity for this type of profession. And this is something a lot of you corporations, agencies, facilities, y'all have to stop being thirsty for staff. Y'all are so goddamn thirsty for staff. Y'all are hiring anybody. Like I said, at the old county jail where I used to work, they are hiring them younger and younger and younger. And them young people is not lasting. They're getting bamboozled. They're getting manipulated by the inmates. A lot of these older employees and employers, they feel like they're more at an advantage when they hire somebody young because they can pay them pennies. And because when you're hiring somebody young and they're inexperienced, the little bit of pennies these corporations are paying seems like a lot to them. And see, this is the very reason why a lot of these agencies will hire young people. They feel they can get away with paying them pennies. And as an 18 and 19-year-old, if you've always had to live off your parents' allowance, or you work burger jobs where they was only paying $7 or $8 an hour, and these medical jobs and clinics are willing to pay you 17, 18 an hour, that's a lot of money. So they're automatically, for them anyway, that's a lot of money that's going to automatically, draw them to apply to these places. But this is the catch 22. Yeah, they seen they make more money, but they're not understanding so much is given, much is required. These professional these professional agencies and organizations like law enforcement and medical and nursing, there's a lot of requirements. It's a fine line. Yes, you may get paid more, but there's so many protocols, and HIPAA is a big factor. And I'm sure good damn well, why I hope hopefully they explain this to her. Matter of fact, even when you apply and you fill out an application, it'll tell you that is HIPAA requirement. Patient's information is confidential, meaning you can't not be exploiting them. Not even verbally, meaning you can't be going around talking about your patient. Oh my, I got patient John Doe. He's always using the bathroom on himself and he's always throwing up. You cannot disclose verbally, and you definitely cannot have any footage, have any video recordings. That's why a lot of these jobs are getting strict now about the cell phone use, because of the Gen Z ratchet nation, right? These young people, especially these young black women, particularly, and I ain't saying they the only ones that do it, but we're the ones, the young, the black women in this era, they are the ones that are being exploited and called out the most. Okay. And let me tell you something. I worked in an organization where there was nurses, and I wasn't a nurse, but I was a security officer. I've seen them hire these young girls and seeing how these young girls really don't take being a nurse seriously. They love wearing these tight ass scrubs because it looks good on them. It makes them look like something they're not. It makes them professional. It gives them that professional look, but it does not give them that professional mindset, right? I've seen them walking around wearing these tight scrubs, thinking they cute, long nails with the diamonds and and all of the decorations on their nails, the long lace wigs and all this and that. And I'm like, listen, are you here for a fashion show? Or are you here to work? First of all, these patients, some of them, most of them, you have to change their diapers, you have to help them wash, you got to bathe them, take them to the bathroom. How can y'all even work with these long ass nails? And the fact that these directors don't say anything to them about it, they don't check them for it. Why? Because they want a staff. And they know young people will leave as soon as you start getting on them too much. They tell them, oh, you can't wear your hair long like that. You can't wear your nails long like that. They would rather uh let these young people bend the rules so they could avoid having to pull more shifts, you know. And then when you do that and you try to be cheap and you try to cut corners and hiring young, immature, inexperienced people that are willing to work for pennies, this is what ends up happening. They end up disgracing you. Now, hopefully this is not a private owned medical like business where, you know, they are contracted and send them to different like clinics or something like that, because private organizations are worse. They make the rules as they go, and the state doesn't keep up with them as frequently as they do these um medical facilities, as they do these hospitals, right? So these private organizations, they only got to check in maybe and recertify every so many months or years or whatever. So they don't be monitored as frequently and as often as a lot of these medical agencies. But basically, you can tell by this young lady, right? She's very I don't say young lady literally, but you can tell by this bust down bird that she is very attention starved. And that is the problem with a lot of the young black women in today's generation. They're very attention starved. Okay. They are always seeking likes, validation, and attention from social media all the time, right? And for her to think that this was cute and appropriate, it really shows you how brain damaged she is. I don't know if maybe wearing too many lace wigs have fried her brain, but she's given a bad look to the women who love to wear their lace wigs, because it's starting to make me think that, you know, maybe some of these wigs are suffocating your brain cells, because there's no way in hell, as hard as it is to get jobs these days, as expensive as rent is, these car notes and stuff, who would take a chance and do something this pathetic? And I'll tell you who. It's the Gen Z, it's the bust down bird era. These young women under the age of 24, they have no common sense. They don't listen. Um, they're always seeking validation. And when they do, they're willing to get negative attention, because in this day and age, negative attention is better than no attention at all. Okay. And this is the reason why. And it's because they're not getting checked for it. They're not getting any real discipline. They're not getting called out. But in this instance, I'm glad she got called out. Her being attention seeking, it actually was to our advantage because had she not posted that video, nobody would have known what these disabled, I can't talk today, y'all, disabled patients was going through. Had she not exploited herself, had she not self-incriminated herself, no one would not have known. So I got to give props to her. Girl, we thank you. We thank you for putting this video footage out here, even though you did it for attention. But what you did do was you made us aware of your type, your kind that people are allowing to work in their medical facilities. And as you can see in her mugshots, she's smiling. She doesn't appear to be too bothered or embarrassed by it. But nevertheless, honey, we know you are embarrassed because we know you love attention. And when you got up in that jail, get your fingerprints done, and they changed you out into that inmate jumpsuit, you didn't know. But I bet you was not prepared for that wig to come off. And that's the only reason why you're smiling and you're laughing and you're trying to play it cool, because you did not know that they was going to have you take off that wig. So to save face, she's smiling, but you can see the smile is not that it's not that the smile isn't smiling like it was with all these other video footage that she put out there. She's embarrassed, and she needs to be. And she's not understanding because she's only 19 years old, but this is going to come back and haunt her. She's going to regret this for the rest of her days. Now she's going to end up probably having to become a stripper, or, get in a porn hub or something, where it's not going to matter how bad you disgraced yourself at this point. So you can pretty much take any like low end, uh, immoral type of job, but to want to think somebody's going to hire you for their organization, their business, their brand, that's not going to happen. She basically blackballed herself with this decision that she made. But again, a lot of you organizations and you private companies, stop being thirsty hiring these young people, because you don't want to hire people that is on their shit and know their shit, and you got to really pay them the money which they are qualified to earn. You rather pay somebody $10, $15 an hour who don't know nothing. But this is the problem: because they don't know nothing, they become a liability to your company and to your organization. This is a very sad situation. I'm glad none of the patients got hurt any more than what they already are. I'm glad none of them got injured. But if I was a family, you better believe lawsuits. Listen, lawsuits is on hot pursuit. I would be suing the hell out of them. Now, if it's a private company, you are not going to get much. But if it's a private company, I'll sue them so much that they go private for real, to the point where they won't even goddamn exist no more. Because that's just how broke I plan on making them once I sue them. Anyway, y'all, leave y'all comment below. Let me know what y'all think about this situation. Another bust down bird moment, y'all, for all the bust down birds who have no morals, no standards, no common sense, and most importantly, are a disgrace to society. So anyway, y'all, make sure y'all hit that like button. I appreciate y'all for hanging out with me. It is your girl, Diva Knowledge, Lady Mocha, represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris. I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Love y'all. Take care. Bye.